For 40 days, a giant named Goliath stood between the Philistine and Israelite armies, taunting and challenging the soldiers of Israel. He was a warrior like no other, over 9 feet tall, clad in impenetrable armor, and wielding a spear so massive it seemed like the trunk of a tree. Each day he roared his challenge, daring any man to face him in battle. Yet, not one soldier stepped forward. Fear gripped their hearts. No one believed they could stand against the giant. But then came David, a young shepherd boy, sent by his father to deliver food to his brothers at the battlefield. As he arrived, he heard the challenge of Goliath echoing through the valley. Unlike the others, David was not afraid. Instead, he was filled with righteous anger. "Who is this giant who dares to insult the armies of the living God?" he asked. "I will fight him." The soldiers around him scoffed. He was just a boy. How could he possibly stand against a warrior like Goliath? Word of David's boldness spread quickly, reaching the ears of King Saul. Amused but curious, Saul summoned David. When David stood before him, Saul was doubtful. "You are just a boy," he said. "Goliath has been a warrior since his youth." But David was undeterred. "I have fought lions and bears while tending my father's sheep," he declared. "And just as God saved me then, he will save me now." Seeing David's unshakable faith, Saul relented. "Go," he said, "and may the Lord be with you." And so, David stepped onto the battlefield. He carried no sword, no shield, just a simple sling and 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream. The sight of him made Goliath laugh. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" The giant roared. "I will crush you where you stand." But David was unshaken. He looked up at Goliath and declared, "You come to me with a sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, he will deliver you into my hands." Then, without hesitation, David reached into his pouch, took out a stone, and placed it in his sling. With one swift motion, he spun it through the air. The stone soared across the battlefield and struck Goliath directly in the forehead. The mighty giant staggered, his towering frame swaying for a moment before crashing to the ground with a thunderous impact. Silence fell over the battlefield. Then, in an instant, the Israelites erupted in cheers. Their fear had turned into triumph. The Philistines, stunned by what had just happened, turned and fled. David's victory wasn't about physical strength or superior weapons. It was about faith, courage, and an unshakable trust in God's power. He did not let fear dictate his actions. He did not listen to the doubts of others. Instead, he stepped forward with confidence, knowing that no challenge is too great when God is on your side. No matter how big the obstacle, faith and courage can conquer giants.